Andrew S here, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the brand new album from Hanging Garden, The Garden. And the opening track is The Garden, so there's a lot of garden going on right here. Right off the bat though, The Garden has this lush environment that really lured me in with these poetic, clean vocals, whimsical atmosphere, and this tranquil plateau of instruments that was slowly evolving into this bestial yet seductive chorus, which is absolutely fantastic, so hooky. The musical details I felt are exquisite, from the keyboards and the atmosphere to how important these really enormous tough chords are, to the harsh vocals and the chorus melody, and how important the cymbals are to those chords. So there's a lot of things that are, amplified and helped out by the other instruments. I felt really elevating everything, helping each other out, really creating so much within this song. Absolutely great opener is the title track, The Garden. Then we go on to The Four Winds. This contains great drum work. I really like the drum work on this album. The drum work here really spices up the rhythm and lead guitar work and creates this sort of perpetual motion. I felt this energy towards the angelic chorus, which you have some great vocal work in this, especially from Rika and Tony Hataka. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but anyways, their vocal work together are phenomenal. The back and the Beauty and the Beast combination of these two is absolutely awesome and absolutely stellar. I really love what they did in The Four Winds. Then I'm going to go on to The Construct. This song is has magnificent chords and lead work. So many hooks just from the guitars. So when you combine that with the piano and the varying vocals, you get this extremely catchy song, and a lot of dynamic and depth to this song from The Construct. And I felt this one sort of changed the atmosphere and emotion of the mood a little bit. I felt like you started off a little more vibrant, and then we start to darken it almost a little bit, coming into the middle of the album. I think all culminating at these three tracks I'm going to mention in a bit. But first, I'm going to talk about the Song of Spring. Now this one absolutely grows like spring. This one is a mystifying aura that flutters along with this riff of uncertainty. So there's that little dark, bleak emotion that I was talking about that we're sort of building to on this album, but that uncertainty links with this wonderfully amazing keyboards and clean and harsh vocals. I felt they all sort of culminate and build together all in this track, and they absolutely work magically together and create this sort of amazing aura within the Song of Spring. Absolutely awesome job as we're building, like I said, almost like a movie or a novel. It's sort of building towards this sort of epic part of the album, I felt, in my opinion, in these next three songs that contain grand, poetic, metaphorical, captivating lyrics in these next three. The first one of those three is The Nightfall. Now, Nightfall is a mix of high and low energy, vicious and mild emotions. Some pieces, the drums turn up the tempo and complexity with the harsh vocals, and other parts are more ambient in this track. So it's a really nice blend, not really a contradiction, but a nice blend, and it seamlessly transitions, and it sort of does that a little bit in these next two, which I call the monsters. You got the Stolen Fire and the Journey, both with this sort of, again, they have some more modest parts at times, but Tony Hataka's harsh vocals are stellar and fierce at other times, which really creates that bleak, dark mood that I was talking about as we coming into this one. Same with the guitar tones a little bit, I think, are a little darker. But you have some leads, like I said, that the modest parts, the cleaner parts. Some of these guitar leads sing like a lark. They're very pleasant one moment, and then they shriek like a crow the next. So you got these cool contradicting. Maybe they're not contradicting, but these really nice, this balance of like harsh and clean, and they really go so well together. You got some nice ambience to it, the cloudy, somber sort of feel to that. And one thing that I really like though, or my favorite lead off this though, has to be On the Journey. I just found that one was absolutely spectacular, really hooky, just a great lead. It's my favorite one is On the Journey. But I really like these three songs. Like I said, as I felt the album was sort of gradually building towards this. These three, the Nightfall obviously, you know, sort of plays on, you know, a darker tone. Same with like the Stolen Fire, you know, Stolen. So I thought like that sort of played into like this being like sort of a maybe like a chapter in the middle of a novel, and then we're coming out the other end now on to a song that I'm gonna, you know, I rarely do a must listen onto a brand new album because that usually takes a bit for me to get captivated or something like that. But the Fireside is my must listen to. This breathes sunlight back into the album with strong chords that commanded such respect, especially these powerful. They had these really powerful consecutive chords that were just so predominant. They're a hook within itself. These chords really gripped your bones and seamlessly connect with the fiery lit melodies, sensational vocal harmonies from the Beauty and the Beast, which created an exquisite capstone moment within this song. There's so many things that are hooky and catchy and just absolutely brilliantly done in the Fireside. That's why it's my must listen to. So that one will be down in the description right at the top of the songs to check out. Now I'm going to jump down to the closing track, which is the perfect to close off this album. This novel is called The Resolute. This one is captivating with wonderful, alluring ambience that harmonizes with the beautiful vocals from Rika and the clean vocals, followed by Fierce Tony, which they've been doing the whole album really, really well, absolutely brilliantly, and which throughout I felt what they did was create some warm and peaceful moments along with some nice vibrant atmospheres and warm melodies, but also having arduous and agonizing moods that really go well with like some of the more intense riffs, more intense atmospheres. And I really think their vocal work absolutely was fantastic and complemented each other as well as the music and vice versa, you know, seamlessly working with the emotions and atmospheres of this album. I think they did an awesome job, and I think The Resolute is the perfect song to maybe like showcase that at the end of the album. I also felt like the snare on this song was almost like a little more predominant is a good word for it, but you know, it just added a punctuation, you know, on the novel. It was just, and I just felt like it came alive, and it really popped and stood out. These snare shots just, you know, helped close out the song, or not close out the song, but close out the album, and making sure, you know, that punctuation point was there for The Resolute. Oh, absolutely fantastic album. I really have this up there on my top 10 list of 2023 already. Now, I've said in the past that Hanging Garden has always added something new to their albums. They've always added something fresh, and this one I felt like was very much like a novel, and it was just straightforward, you know, and there was a little bit of added nuances, and it definitely, you know, stands out among the rest of the discography. But they always stay within their realm, and that's why I always really like, is like, you know, it's Hanging Garden. They always do something a little new, and it just adds freshness to their music, and they're always really creative and you know, not repetitive and stuff like that. So absolutely knocked it out of the park with this one. I thinking The Garden, this album, might be, you know, my favorite within, you know, very shortly, I think, because this one already ranks up there for me of their discography. So I hope you guys check out Hanging Gardens, The Garden. All the links, of course, for the songs will be in the description below, along with where you can like listen to the album and purchase their stuff as well. So until next time, folks, how about some heavy listening?